Hi everyone, Emma here. I wanted to show you this lovely bracelet that I started last night, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Um, the reason why I tried to figure out this bracelet or create this design was I wanted to use these crescents. So if you see, my last video was working with sorting through the 2-hole beads, and I wanted to try and get some designs for the 2-hole beads that I have. I bought them when they were on sale, so they were, a really good price, and I just haven't gotten to them yet. So I thought this would be a lovely kind of summery or spring color, these two together. So the salmon, I'm thinking that is salmon. Peach Echo, it's called. That's interesting. And then this one is suede olive turquoise. Let me see, get you the light is making it difficult. There we go. Suede olive turquoise and the peach echo. So you're going to need those. You only need, depending on how many units you put on your bracelet. So your bracelet, 1 unit is 2 of these kind of flowers, and then the combination of the crescents. So you could put all the same crescents, or you can change, the color combination. You could put 2 peach and 1 turquoise in there. So let's take a look at what we have. So I put out enough to do, I think, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So 7 units. You know what? I am thinking 7 units is going to be too big. So part of the reason being is I have this area here that takes up a bit of space. So we'll see when we get to it. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you what it is. And I'm just going to do some little adjustments here. I'm going to bring the camera a bit closer. It's a little easier for me to work up close. And let me see. So you're going to need scissors, of course, and you're going to need some type of thread. I'm using the dragon thread green. I find it really conceals. You can't see the thread at all. I find when I use white, you really see it. So here is an area where you see the thread, but you don't see it. Now here's another thing. I think we are going to put a seed bead in there to cover that little opening. Yeah, I haven't. And then I think I might put some bicones, 3mm bicones. So this is not necessarily a tutorial. This is going to be more of, let's see how, kind of develop this design together. And definitely, if you have suggestions on the path of the thread, let me know, because this is really I am so new to beading, so probably 2 years now since I've had this channel, and I started out by, my lighting is too bright here. Let me see. Let's enlarge this to start with. And, oh, that's way too low. Let's try there. That's better. So, yeah, if I had more experience with this, I would be able to figure out the bead path that's the simplest. So the other thing you're going to need is some 11/0 seed beads and some super duos. So these super duos are matte metallic silver, so that's what I feel like. It gives it that faded look to go with like a summer, this kind of color too, so it matches. It's not like super shiny. And these seed beads are the same. They're, I don't know what silver metallic, but they are definitely, if you look at these compared to some other silvers, I'll show you here. You can see a big difference in the color. So I tend to go with these for that kind of matte look. So let's put those aside. So we have that stuff all there. And right now I'm at this triangle piece. So this is the connector between these units. And I'll show you how to do those. Those are super easy. And you know what? I just love doing them. So, okay. So this is the part that's a bit sketch about where to put things. So we are going to pick up. And you know, I did this when I was in bed, so who knows how this is going to turn out. So we need, if you look at the one previous, we need a super duo. So we start with the outside, and that's the area that I have some concern with, because when you start with the outside, it brings these really close together. So then it's harder to bring this close together, but we'll try it. So we're going to do the outside, and then we're going to do the inside. So to start with, you could do like the whole thing and then draw it in. But what I've done is I'm going to do just the one crescent with this piece here, and then I'm going to add this second piece. And that's just for the sake of the beads being kind of not loosey-goosey and stuff like that. So we're going to need one, and a seed bead. I'll show you where I'm grabbing these from. 2 and a seed bead. And then 3. So 3 super duos. Okay, so this is what you have so far. I can show you these. So 3 super duos and then the 2 seed beads in between. And then you're going to pick up a turquoise crescent. Now, be careful where you pick up your crescent from. At first, I just grabbed either side, and then I realized I had things flipped the wrong way. So we're coming out of this bead, so we want to be in this one here. So I will just poke through there. Okay, so this is what you need on your needle. And I'm going to pull that all down. Okay, like that. Then we're going to cross over into the next hole, and we're going to add the other 3 on there, like that. So I'll set that down. So let's grab 1, and then a seed bead, a super duo, a seed bead, and a super duo, like that. So bring those down. So I'm just going to hang on to it this way, because now, so our thread is coming out of this peak here on the one side. We're going to go in the opposite side of that. So this is going to be our seed bead to attach all our super duos. So that's why we didn't add one. And that's what we have there. So you see what I mean here in this section as I pull it tight. I want the super duos with the empty hole to go to the middle. So it should look something like that. But because we start with the outside, so I guess the other way you could do this is you could pick up these components separately and then add them on, but I kind of want to make it as part of the component. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull this in a bit and hang on to that thread, and we're going to go back through everything so that we can, and this is like really, so I found it super hard to do, like, okay, so we need to snug this a bit. There we go. So let's go through everything again. Through the seed beads, the super duo, so we're going through everything in the same holes, including the crescent. And so this is about as snug as you want it for this outside piece, because once we pop those over and create a circle, those are going to spread out a bit. So now let's go down the crescent and through everything. That. So you see there's a big, let's just pull that. Nice. There. And then go through this seed bead and super duo, because now we are going to flip our super duos and go through. So we're going to step up. So we're coming out of this hole here. And I apologize if this is confusing. Please let me know, because I'll do another video. So I suspect I'm going to be making a few of these. So hopefully we'll get a nice clean video where you can see everything. So we're coming out of this bottom hole where we have all the seed beads as well. So we're going to go through the empty holes on the super duo. So we step up the first one. So what that did was it changed our direction, which is fine. So now we're going to go through these guys. So you can go through more than one at a time. And go through the next one. So we don't have to go through the crescent. So this is the area where I thought maybe a seed bead should go in there. But I think we're going to leave it for now. I will work on this design some more. So again, I don't stress out if it looks too confusing, because this is super simple, and I will do another video. But I was kind of excited about this, so I wanted to show you. So now I'm kind of pushing them in place, and I think they get a bit tighter on the second go around, so we'll try that. So you can see how this really needs a different design, like for where the beads are going here, or where the thread is going. So let me see if I can just jiggle it a bit looser. Put everything through. And then I did this in bed last night, so you can tell. Can you tell? It's really kind of awkward, which is really unfortunate. So let me see if we can get that. That is, I may have to take that out. Didn't seem to be that bad last night. The other thing is this thread stretches, so it kind of lends itself to this kind of design. So there, I am kind of, because I kind of want it tight and not, so I just know the next time I'll have to be a little looser with those guys. So I'm going to go through this one more time, and that should be enough, and then we'll add the other side, and you'll see what it looks like. And the other thing too is at this point we need to put a knot somewhere in here to keep this taut. So I might go through two of these and then put a knot. So try and grab your thread like that, and bring your thread around. I do it twice. I know a lot of beaders just do it the once. I tend to be a little more on the obsessive side about stuff like that. So it's nice and tight. So you can see now it's starting to kind of flatten out a bit to actually the way I want it. Because I kind of want it to look like a flower. If I popped it out too much, it would be not the look that I'm going for, I guess. So let's go through this one, and then we'll step up and flip over. Like that. So now we are going to go through this. This is the step up part, and we'll go through everything. If we can find the hole. Yeah. There. Oh, this is tight. Does not like that angle at all. I see some little sparklies. When I do some tightness on stuff, that's when I end up with some issues. Breaking, like chipping the, so we need our crescents, and we need 3 of these. We'll need some seed beads. My mat's getting all over the place. Okay, so this is the area again where you have to position your crescents in the position that you want to add them. So that one's going to go first, and then that one in that position. So we are coming out of the top hole. We want to go into the bottom hole, or sorry, the top hole of the next one, and then the top hole of the next one. And bring that down. And this is an amazing tip that Tammy gave me, and that is when you're doing beadwork, if you're not sure where things are going to sit, to rather than continue weaving the other stuff, is draw all your beads down to the bottom, and then you know you've got the right orientation. So that was an awesome tip, Tammy, because oh, how many times I've done a design, got it in, I'm like, oh, it's in the wrong position, so I have to take it off. So now we're going to pick up a super duo, a seed bead, a super duo, a seed bead, a super duo. So this one here is different than this one. So this one we didn't put a seed bead in that section, and actually we probably should have, because we were going through the top hole, right? But because this is the one we're actually working on here, so we need, this is a finishing part, so we need a seed bead on the other side. So we're basically just going to add 6 total super duos with a seed bead in between each, except for at the beginning and except for at the end. So let's get our seed bead, super duo, seed bead, super duo, seed bead, and super duo. So that's what you need for this one here. Bring it all down, and I'm going to adjust my thread here. Okay. So now we're going to loop around and go through these bottom hole of the crescents, and we are, so rather than going, now if you wanted to reinforce this stuff here, you could go through the seed beads, but I'm just going to put it through the crescent and step up on the crescent like this. And bring that in. You see how it's all, there's a bit of, okay. So I'm going to leave that loose this time, kind of like that. So then we should be able to still, it might need to be a bit looser. Okay, so now we're going to step up into this next hole of the crescent and go through everything again. Let's see if we can get in here. Get through. Go through as many things as you can manage, or one at a time is fine too. So I pulled that a bit there. So we want to keep going through the ones we just went through. So that's this side with the seed beads and the super duo hole that's going to create the outer edge of the flower. So let's get through those guys. This is still a bit loose, but I think I need it that way, so I'm going to continue like that. So I kind of don't like this being this loose, but I have a feeling that once I flip these, so I'm going to step up into the open holes and see if we can fix this. I think what probably the smarter idea is to make a knot so that these crescents are tight, but we can always go back and tighten them. I'm just spitballing here. So if you follow my channel, you know I don't do like polished tutorials. It's so funny because I think about doing them all the time and then I get stressed out and I'm like, nope. It's a lot of work to do a polished tutorial because there's a lot of editing involved. And it's really, I don't know, the idea for this is as long as you get the gist. Sometimes I can watch a couple of minutes of a video and totally understand how to do the bracelet. So it's not really not necessary to. So let me see. So yeah, it is tightening a bit as I bring these pieces in. Let me flip it to the. See, you know what? Let's flip these the other way. I'll tell you why, because I don't want the flower to look differently. So if I flip it in, then the super duos that don't have the seed beads are going to be at the top. So let's just see if we can kind of mash them in place. Look, it worked. Children, don't do this at home. Okay, let me see if I can get that. I'm just going to hold them for a second here. I apologize, my fingers are in the way. So I should be able to, yeah. So, okay, let's go through these guys. And I have to do two. And we're going to put a knot in here, so I might do the knot right here. So you see how it nicely tightened that. So I think I inadvertently found the tension that I need on those. So that's, you know, I would say that's a skill as a more proficient beader, that you need to figure out where your tension is for whatever design you're using. So, because it changes from design to design. Sometimes you need it loose, sometimes. So I like them a little more popped up. So let me see if I can. now I am going to step up. So we're going to go from this hole to that hole and change directions. And I'll show you how to make the little triangle or diamond shape. So this is what we have so far. This is the these clasp, fold over clasps that I recently did an unboxing on, and the putting your bracelet onto the clasp right away is probably not a good idea. I would recommend you do it at the end, and I'll tell you why. These openings are so big, so it was really difficult to do this. So I ended up doing the 5 seed beads, creating a knot, reinforcing it, and then going through, there's a little bar there, and it's hard to see, go over. So I would probably reinforce this again, so there's no point showing it to you. So, oh. Okay, so let's do the diamond shape. This is one of the fun things I like doing. And I'm just kind of reshaping that a bit. I like them. This one looks a little flatter than I care for, so I'm just finding the shape that I want. Okay, so pick up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're coming out of this side. We're going to go into the opposite side. Like that. And when you do this diamond shape here, you always, so you go through, you're going to add seed beads in each divot, but the first one you go through without a seed bead. So if you can remember that, that will help a lot. I've done bracelets where it's a combination. I don't know. These are a bit tight here. It's a combination, or I did a bracelet that was a combination of this and this and some like bicones. So until I finally got the gist of it, I kept adding a bead in that slot. So that's why I say, you may wonder sometimes I give you information, you're like, yeah, TMI, right? But that's why I do it. So you're adding, let me show you. So your thread is coming out of, so you always run through your first bead, then you add a seed bead and go through the next one, and you do that around, and it's going to create a diamond shape. So pick up your next one, go through, and you might already know how to do these. These are great for earrings, these little diamond shapes, because they're nice and dainty, and they give some really nice look to any beads. So then we go through this one. So we don't put one at the base of this one either. So you see there's a space, but it will close up. So I'm going to try and go through the next. Let's do it individually. That bead's not... This is a little tight in this area, so you see. And you can tighten that. So let's go through this one. And because it's down in there, it's kind of hard to just angle your needle around the Super Duo. Okay, so now we need our thread up here. So we're going to go through all of these beads on an angle, but when you're doing this diamond, you can also go through and skip the corner ones, and what that does is it pops them out even further. But for this one, you see they're really nicely in place, so I really don't need to pop them. So that's another kind of choice you can make. Let's just get through. One of these is beads is tight. It's my thread here. like that, and then go through these two. The this position too doesn't like, you're going to bend your needle, so you might want to go through them individually. So there. And you know what? We are down on thread, so I almost feel like we need to switch the thread, and I think I will end here. But what I'll do is I will, there's going to be another video, because I think what I'm going to do is change my thread and maybe add one component and then come back so that I can, actually what I'll do is I'll go to the end, leave off the final component, so I can show you how to attach it on the other side as well as one of these. So there we go. Let's see how that goes. Get your crescents out. Let's go. And your super duos. See you in a bit. Bye.